What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be getting into my Pac-12 conference tournament predictions. But before we dive into this bracket, just want to let you guys know if you want to go and check out my ACC conference tournament predictions, SEC, Big 12, Big East, you may do so. Just made those earlier today. Also going to be coming out with my Mountain West right after this Pac-12 conference tournament video. And then also all the ones tomorrow. Like the Big Ten, the American, and other conference tournaments that are coming. I'm going to be making all of them, as well as all the ones that are up from this point I've made in the previous week, if you want to check all of those out. But anyway, let's look at this bracket here. Starting out with the number one team here, we have UCLA, who finished 18-2, just the dominant team in this conference. They've won 10 straight games. They're just playing too good right now. And the number two, Arizona, who finished 14-6 in conference play this year. Just clear, those two are the top two teams in this conference. It's really not even close between number three. Well, I guess number three finished 14-6 in conference play as well. USC really played well in conference play, but from a record standpoint, USC isn't anywhere, or from a talent perspective, USC is not nearly as good as UCLA and Arizona. And then number four, we got Oregon, who finished 12-8 in conference play. Number five, we had Oregon. Also, they need to go on a run bad in this tournament if they want any hope of making it. But then number five, we had a tiebreaker between number 5 seed Washington State and number 6 seed Arizona State. Both finished 11-9. Washington State's pretty far away from making the NCAA tournament, but Arizona State has an opportunity right now at 11-9. They're in Lundardi's next four out, I believe. I think the fifth team out of or maybe the first four out. Not entirely sure. But Arizona State, they need to probably beat Oregon State. Definitely beat Oregon State. Definitely beat USC. And I don't even know if that will be enough. They lost USC last night, so that was a big loss for them. Anyway, moving on to number 7, we had Utah, who finished 10-10 in conference play. They were really a team that was looking to make the bubble, but they've lost 5 straight games, just as faltered really bad as of late. I mean, they need at this point, they would need to beat Arizona and probably the winner of this game in order to have any hope of making the bubble as a at-large bid. And then number 8, we got Washington, tie-breaking with Colorado. Both teams finished 8-12, but it doesn't matter because they're going to be playing each other either way. And then number 10, we had Stanford, who finished 7-13 in conference play this year. Number 11, we had Oregon State, finishing 5-15 in conference play. And then the worst team, Cal, who finished 2-18 in conference play, had a chance to beat Oregon State and snap this 15-game losing streak, but lost by 3 last night to them. All right, anyway, let's look at this Pac-12 bracket here. Let's start out with Washington versus Colorado. I mean, Colorado's a really good team. They just beat Utah last night. They played it really close against UCLA. I think that Colorado is a better team than a lot of people anticipate, and I think that they're a better team than Washington. So I'm going to go with Colorado as a 9/8 upset pick there. Then Washington State versus California. I do not see California pulling off a crazy upset. I'm going with Washington. Utah versus Stanford, a 7 versus a 10 seed. Stanford really played it close actually beat Arizona. Yeah, they beat Arizona earlier this year on the 11th of February. And against Utah, they beat them as well. I'm going to go with an upset pick here. Utah's just been not themselves lately. I'm not a big fan of Utah. I think that Stanford is a good team right there that could pull off the upset. So I'm going to go with the 10/7. Then Arizona State versus Oregon State, a 6 versus an 11 seed. I like Arizona State to win that one. All right, so over here we got UCLA versus Colorado. Like I said, Colorado almost beat UCLA, just barely lost to them in last Sunday by 4 points. I mean, that was a really impressive showing by Colorado, but I don't think that they're going to be able to keep it up on a neutral floor. I think that UCLA probably will be able to win that game. And then Oregon versus Washington State, a 4 versus a 5 seed. Like I said, Oregon, this is a must-win game for them if they want any hope of being an at-large bid. Probably need to beat UCLA as well. I think that Oregon could handle their business against Washington State to advance. Then 2-seed Arizona versus Stanford. Like I said, Arizona lost to Stanford earlier this year on the 11th. Could this be a rematch win for Stanford? I don't think so. I think Arizona will be able to get their revenge and advance on. And then we got a 3-seed versus a 6-seed. USC versus Arizona State, another revenge matchup just from last night where USC just barely won. Could this be a huge win for Arizona State that they need? I mean, Arizona State's been close in a few games in or here in a row. They beat Arizona, obviously. So this Arizona State team is not to be trifled with, but USC, Arizona State's going to give it their all in this game. They are coming off a game against Oregon State. Could be ready for this one. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to flip this pick. I want to go with Arizona State. Another just revenge win for them. I think that Arizona State can win this one. I mean, they need to win this one bad. Get the revenge. USC, obviously, a very freaking good team. But I think that Arizona State will be able to win that one to advance on to the semis. So then we got UCLA versus Oregon, a 1 versus a 4 seed. As I mentioned, Oregon, this is a must-win game. If they can win this one, they'll actually have probably a decent chance to be in the hunt for the bubble. I mean, for the plan or the last 4 in. But I don't see it happening. UCLA has just been too dominant in conference play. I think that UCLA will be able to win. Then we got a rematch of that half-court heave by Arizona State to win against Arizona. That game was at Arizona as well. This has been a revenge-type video here because Arizona, it's just been a revenge tour for Arizona here. I think that they could beat Arizona State. Unfortunate for Arizona State, but could beating USC be enough to slip them in the tournament? Maybe. Being competitive against Arizona definitely would help them out. But anyway, UCLA versus Arizona, a huge matchup. Oh, like I said, a revenge tour for Arizona. Can they complete this revenge tour? They just barely lost to UCLA last night. I am a huge fan of Arizona. They beat UCLA earlier this year. They just got a bad break last time against UCLA. It was at home for UCLA. They were just too dominant in that game. But I think it's going to be a revenge game for Arizona. I think this is going to be the perfect revenge tour for Arizona where they took a bad loss to Stanford earlier, a half-court heave against Arizona State that dropped them to a 3 seed in Lombardi's bracketology, and then a win against Arizona, which they just lost to. Let's give Arizona some love. I really do believe in Arizona, so I'm going to give them the championship. No disrespect to UCLA whatsoever, though. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video today. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed the content. Comment down below your Pac-12 conference tournament predictions. Anyway, peace.